So this week I learned to be more aware. And we're just going to go.
We may be going live right now. It says starting.
Really?
Yep, we're live.
All right. Congratulations, Greg.
Finally got it to work. Let's see. We may not want this background because it's not going to grab the chat, I believe.
Okay, maybe it's so ugly people will actually like it.
Well, if it's ugly, it doesn't matter. So we're going to go anyways.
We're going to take a celebratory drink.
What is this that we have here? You can't even pronounce what it is, can you?
I can't read it.
It's called the Dalmore. It's a 12-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey. Ooh, you need the water too? You need some water.
You need water.
No, you need water for the whiskey.
No,
Don't you? You don't need it? You always want it. Come on.
So, actually, this whiskey was given to me by Greg on my, 27th birthday? 28th
28.
birthday. Thank you, Greg.
Huh? Release those tannins.
Okay. Cheers,
Mazel tov.
everybody. So, Greg, the way we're doing it now, are people going to be able to play it back later?
I think so because it's on YouTube. So it should be recording automatically.
And it saves on their server?
It should. I
Okay.
haven't used YouTube
If
before,
not-
so
That's why it was a conversation about nothing.
yeah, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm just checking here because there is it'll give you stream quality. So if it's laggy or so on and so forth.
Yeah?
So we can improve the video quality or or decrease it. So
So
Let's see.
the whiskey's too strong for you, buddy?
because I cough. Cough all the time. So what do you want to talk about?
That's not how this works.
What do you mean?
So before we started the podcast, Greg and I were talking about how we recently just became aware. And so for whoever doesn't know what self-awareness is, Greg's going to pull it up on Google and give you guys the definition.
What, self-awareness?
What does it mean to be self-aware, Greg?
Well, you can do self-awareness, which the noun for it is conscious knowledge of one's own character, feelings, motives, and desires. So that can mean a lot of different things because it's changes per person.
Right. So what was it that you were more self-aware this week? Or what was it that you said you found a couple of videos that you wanted to share with us?
Oh,
So
there is.
you can pull them up and you can tell people what it is so they can
Yeah,
follow.
if you go onto YouTube and just type in awareness test, the first 5 are pretty good, and then they just repeat themselves with different people doing them. So it's if you watch it, you're gonna
Okay.
freak out. It'll
Let's-
explain everything.
You can't do audio, but
This
you can
is an aware.
Yeah, so
you can show us.
just read it and it'll tell you what to do.
So there's a group of people talking about.
There's 2 teams. Here, let me start it over. I don't think you read it.
No, I didn't hear.
Okay.
What
So
is
there's
this?
2 teams, 4 people each team. There's a group that's wearing white shirts, group that's wearing black shirts.
Mhm.
And it says, how many passes does the team in white make?
Passes to each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
So white shirt passes it to white shirt. So here we go. So you just keep an eye on them just so that you can count how many, and it'll tell
Okay,
you
so
when
there's
it stops. It doesn't last
just
too long.
two groups of people throwing basketballs around.
Yeah. So they're doing like little tricks and moving around each other. Are you counting? You
No,
stopped counting,
I
didn't
forgot to count.
you? Oh my goodness.
It doesn't matter, right?
It does matter.
Okay.
Ready?
Sorry. Yeah, we're gonna redo this one more time.
Okay, here we go. The passes are gonna start. Count out loud.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Okay, you counted 15. There was only 13 passes.
Holy shit.
But did you see the moonwalking bear?
A moonwalking bear?
Yeah.
No.
You didn't see it?
No.
It was
I just
there
saw
the whole
people.
time.
What?
Watch. It's the same exact video. Now don't pay attention to them passing.
Just pay.
Just watch.
Just look
Do you
at the
see the
people.
moonwalking bear?
Oh, now I see a bear. Oh, okay.
He was there the whole time. You
Oh,
didn't even
no,
notice it.
You know what? You know where I've seen this? I've seen this video before.
Yeah, it was an advertisement a long
No,
time
but
ago.
it was also on. I think Joe Rogan was talking about this.
Oh, really?
So I don't want to get in trouble for doing the same.
Ah.
We're gonna get pulled off YouTube. So, Greg, I wonder if talking about being banned from YouTube will ban you. Do you think we'll get flagged for this?
No, because no one's going to attack us.
Now, are you able to send me a link to, like, through a messenger of some sort so I can send it to the guys?
I believe so. Well, this is dashboard. It says one person's watching, but I believe that would be us.
Right.
Add stream info. Stream options.
So, you,
Cards.
what were we talking about? Awareness? Self-awareness? Okay. So,
Well,
you read
that
the
wasn't based
definition?
off of self-awareness, but that was like an awareness test to see if you were paying attention to everything and not just the balls.
So, that just. What do you mean? You gotta explain that.
So you weren't aware that there was a dancing bear going through the middle of them,
Okay.
but it was right in front of you the whole time. So
Well,
sometimes when you're
just
paying
did-
attention to something that they're saying, oh, pay attention to this, you don't see the other things that are going on around.
Yeah, like you're focused on the passes.
You're focused on one thing when multiple things are going on.
Okay, so that's one type of self-awareness, or well, that's awareness,
Mm-hmm.
or is that perception? It's because you're watching the passes,
Yeah.
but if your brain is you're still intaking the bear through your eyes, right? You're still should be looking at the bear, but you're not. It's a trick on your brain. Is that what's happening?
No, it's not. There's no trick to it. It's just you were watching the ball, and if you took your eye off the ball, you might miss a pass. So, like, you counted, I think, 18 when there was 13. So,
I think I counted 15.
I saw where you messed up. You counted when he went under the legs once, went back under, and then passed.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't know.
So, what are some things that you just became more self-aware in this past week?
Quite a few things, but
Okay. Well, let's touch on them.
because the awareness definition is a little different. So you have the quality or state of being aware, concern about, and well-informed interest in a particular situation or development. So to be aware of things can be affected by your emotions. So if you're scared, you may not be paying attention to what can be attacking you.
Okay.
Same thing if you're happy. You may not be able to see the bad things that those people are doing or whatever else is going on around you. So
Are you saying that happy people don't see all the bad going on around them?
No.
or what do you mean?
It's the same like when you go and you see those what are they called? WW the what is it called? The animal shelters where they put the very like sad commercials on where like the dogs are starving. You're happy with your life. You see that come on, and stuff's going on, and
I mean, you may send a few dollars, right, if you have the money.
most people don't.
What's most people, Greg?
Have you done it?
Not animals. I think my mom used to donate to cancer research for children.
Some people do that.
I mean, we didn't really have the money. That's just the way my mom is.
Yeah, but you're aware things are going on, but you don't do anything about it.
Yeah. So, what other kind of things did you learn from yourself, or that you kind of knew they were there, you just weren't really aware of the damage that they were making?
Well, it's the way that you act as well. So you don't see, like when you watch yourself on a recording or when you hear your own voice, you don't you're
Yeah,
like, oh, that's
weren't-
weird.
Weren't you going to just put up Google
For what?
so there's no window?
Oh, I can.
Sorry, guys. Okay.
So what was it talking about? It's talking about like if you hear yourself or see yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you're not aware of what you're doing normally, and so those things can affect you without you thinking anything bad about them. So like you can have some nervous tick where you wipe your nose. It doesn't mean anything to you. Doesn't mean anything to most people, but germaphobes are like, oh, he's got boogers all over his hands.
So it's perception, or it's
Well,
in
it's
the eye of the beholder.
It's
It's
both?
up to everyone.
It's both because you're not aware that you're doing anything bad.
Okay, yeah, but what was it that you learned, right? What was it that you learned?
Well, I learned that I need to be aware of how I react to things than just doing what I want and never thinking about it.
Can you give us some examples? You don't have to get personal. You just,
Well, no, like,
you can just generalize it.
well, it's like, say you're sitting next to someone that you don't like, and
I've done that.
there's a pen, and I'm sitting here, and the person's sitting there.
But this is particular to you? This is
What?
I'm saying, is this what you don't, if this is what you became aware of?
Well, yeah, well, it's an example.
No. I want to know what you personally became aware of. Okay, let me give you this. Let me give you this.
You mean, did I learn something that I never knew before that now I'm aware of? Or what exactly do you
Okay.
mean?
Let me give you this example.
Okay.
My wife likes to shop at a wholesale place, very popular. Won't mention the name. And she brought home this tub of butter, right? And she said that all her family uses it. It's the best one. Her mom makes them, best pancakes ever, right? So I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, bring it over. And just the other day, I'm sitting there and I'm reading this tub of butter, and it was in fact, and I realized that it was in fact, it was like olive oil spread, right? So this whole time, I've been trying to be better with nutrition, stop eating so much bad food, and I was thinking adding a little butter won't be that bad to, toast in the morning.
Okay.
Well, I realized that the tub was actually olive oil spread, right? And I mean, I don't know, man. How is it that I perceived it to be butter and it tastes like butter? Because when it's just this weird thing that people do when you think about like a glass of soda and if somebody replaces it with water, you think it's soda. You get that weird taste, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't happen like that. It actually
Or you
tastes
expect
like
the bubbles?
no, what right? And what it tasted like butter,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not butter. So I realized that I don't read enough. Us as consumers, we like to take the like. Well, we like to take a lot of products without reading what they actually are.
Uh-huh.
So that's something that I learned.
It's like with toothpaste. Do you know about the color thing on the back? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
There's like little squares,
Uh huh.
and they're different colors. And then there's a rectangle square. Or not, it can't be a rectangle and a square. It's a rectangle. That's the color for what toothpaste you're buying. And it tells you how much like chemicals are in it, up to like natural stuff. Most people don't know that.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Well, there's a lot of things that, I don't know. We go to shop in these fast food restaurants, and as soon as you walk in, they have this sign. It's by law it has to be there that says that the place has chemicals that cause cancer.
It's a lot to do with alcohol,
What?
because alcohol is dangerous for pregnant women to consume, and they also say it
No,
leads.
but I'm saying, well, Del Taco doesn't serve alcohol, and I see the signs there.
You do?
Yeah.
I've never seen a sign like that.
Go to a fast food restaurant. It says any place, any store says, the majority of the stores say that there is there are chemicals in the store that are known to cause cancer.
Oh, some old buildings have like asbestos and stuff like that.
But
in
you know what
paint.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's when are we? It's still there. We haven't done anything about it. I do some sort of management for a living. I'm not gonna say what at this time. And we were opening up this wall, and we're just doing it in an old-fashioned drywall patch. We thought it was some sort of like not paste, but some sort of cement, and we're breaking it apart, and we realized that actually it's asbestos. And these homes, they haven't been upgraded. It's crazy what we accept. Like, how is that still there if it causes cancer?
Yeah. I
But
was
anyway.
actually climbing up in my attic the other day because I was setting up an internet connection. And I used to think insulation was in like bags. It's like in the wall you put insulation bags, right?
No.
Now it's just like you shoot it in, right?
Yeah.
But it used to be like in bags, wasn't it?
Well, it came in bags. Like, it was like a bale. You know what a bale is? Like the hay bale.
Yeah.
Yeah. They come like that in plastic sheeting
Well, I
instead
was
of wires.
up in the attic crawling around and just insulation everywhere.
You with your bare hands?
Yeah?
That
Is that bad?
Yeah.
I got a cut on my
It's
arm.
so crazy.
And I washed like instantly.
It's supposed to be very like prickly.
No, it was kind of like
It's like cotton
foam.
candy.
It was like foam and string. And there was nothing really weird, but there were
Oh, foam. I'm not sure about foam, but it wasn't pink.
no.
There's like some sort
It
of
was like
pink.
gray and tan, and there were some colors, but I don't remember what color they were.
There's some pink ones that I've seen. Back when I used to work in Hala, Home Depot. and if you touched them, you would be itchy, and you weren't supposed to wash yourself with hot water because the hot water. I don't know if it's true, but apparently it opens up your pores a little bit,
So that
and it
goes
would,
in.
yeah, and you would get like a rash, itchy as hell.
That's like if it has what is it called? Not microfibers.
Like fiberglass.
Fiberglass.
I think that is exactly what insulation is. It's fiberglass.
No,
Yeah.
because that's what I was worried about when I went up there. I had a mask on my face, but
I'm.
that was
Don't
it.
quote me on it, but
I
I'm
put
pretty
pants.
sure. Why don't you Google that and make sure that we're right before we're telling these people
Insulation.
what is insulation made out of?
What is insulation? Data. The most common types of materials used for loose fill insulation includes cellulose, fiberglass. Oh gosh,
Damn,
that's
I
not
was
good.
right.
And
Fiberglass.
mineral rock or slag wool.
So you wouldn't want to be crawling around in that. I don't. It must have been a different type of insulation. I've never seen like gray ones or yellow.
But
I know
it may
sometimes.
be a little bit different with the fiberglass.
I know sometimes people will use some sort of foam in insulation.
Most fiberglass products contain 40 to 60% recycled glass. Ouch. I did have a cut, but I'm all good.
Not only.
I've been sneezing a lot, but I think that was because I left my window open.
Are you sure? You didn't get fucking tetanus,
No.
dude.
I'm fine now. I was just for like 2 days. It's like when you clean your house after not cleaning it for a long time, and there's just dust everywhere, and the next day you're just like dying. You can barely open your eyes because they're all swollen.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Hey, did you ever send me a link?
No, I wasn't necessarily able to find one.
Just
No.
copy and paste the one that you have.
But
up
this
there.
is leading to the dashboard. This is not going to take. I think they just have to Google thought process, or not Google, but YouTube. So like if I do it right now, it should take you straight there. Thought
So
process.
after I gave, well, we went on a big tangent,
Yeah. So
right? Okay, no. So back to the self-awareness. Okay, so we got the part that we've already seen this video. We saw it on Joe's show. What was your point with it?
for what?
The self-awareness?
Well, we were just talking about different.
Yeah, you
Oh,
said you said you took some notes and that you were gonna share some of those with us.
Yeah, because you can't be. You got to be aware of many different things, because awareness comes in many different forms. Like I said, with emotions, you can't see certain things. So there's emotional awareness. There's your self-awareness.
Well,
there's
self-awareness is
just
what I'm talking about.
awareness that things are going around you that are pushing towards something. So if you're looking at self-awareness, then it's mainly about knowing how you react to things, knowing what you would do in circumstances, or what you believe in, things that you don't want to do, so on and so forth. What do you think self-awareness is, outside of the definition?
Well, what do I think it means?
Yeah.
Well, I gave you guys an example earlier about something that I wasn't seeing, and maybe it's because you don't care about it. Okay, so for instance, like I don't understand how, and this is speaking because I have a lot of experience with this, how people still, day to day, still decide to cause self-inflicted harm to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And the one of the examples that I can think of is like you take your it would be like fast food. You take your kid out, you go and get them a Happy Meal at McDonald's.
Uh-huh.
And I'm telling you that if you see that they have signs in there saying that some of the chemicals they use or that are in the building can cause cancer. And I just don't understand how people are not eating at home more, and instead it seems like there's more people going out to eat, and there's more people taking the easy way instead of cooking. And I know time has a lot to do with it, and I'm not even judging. Like, I'm just beginning to learn this. How important it is, not to waste your money outside your household. I'm just now seeing it. Like, now that we're grown up, basically, 28 years old, I don't think we know shit. I don't think we know anything, right? Well, we know some things, but we know a lot of bullshit too. Like, we don't know anything.
Yeah.
And we're kind of figuring this out as we go. And I don't see a lot of people talking about this. There's articles, there is, social media, but there's no actual conversations going on anymore between friends. Everyone's on their phone. Like, it's so crazy how there's not a lot of people with our group of, like, with the same type of friends that we have. Like, I feel like we're really lucky in that sense, and maybe they'll be on here one day.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like how you were just talking about, like, why people still go out for dinner when they see signs like that. It's because, well, I haven't researched it, but a lot of times people will say, oh, it's just the paint in the walls, so if some of the paint scrapes off, they need to cover themselves, or asbestos in the wall. Not that they're cooking with chemicals.
Okay, wouldn't you agree that chicken nuggets don't really look like chicken?
Well, it's ground, yeah.
Ground what?
Grounded
Chicken parts?
Well, no, I think
Like,
I think they've changed it.
I heard they had bone and they had gotten in trouble.
Well, yeah, but it's like what's out there? Like ground turkey. You eat a lot of ground turkey.
I stopped because I'm telling you, man, it's one of the things. I was looking at it, and when I put it on the stove, that shit doesn't look like ground turkey.
Because it has different parts and pieces, too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like...
But at the same time, there's just something...
Okay.
I can't remember where I was reading it, but it talks about how we've seen that people don't like to eat bones or chew on bones. But there's a lot of nutrition in bones, and there's no issue with eating bones.
The bone marrow?
We just perceive it as, a bone. I don't want to eat a bone. But there are nutritional benefits of it. Just like, do you drink like naked juice or any of those like natural juices with no sugars?
I don't drink any juice anymore.
Well, in those, like if they had a carrot, they wouldn't take off the green top part. They would include that as carrot because it's still carrot. And there are nutritional benefits as well, and there's no negative to it. You just don't want to eat it. Like, you're not like a carrot salad.
But some of those juices actually have a ton of sugar in them.
Some of them, yeah.
And can you Google this? What does natural flavors? What does that mean?
What is natural flavors?
Yeah, like every product ever has some sort of natural flavors. I think it's like sulfur.
What exactly
this-
are natural flavors?
I feel like we're just talking about the same shit that Joe would talk about. I don't know.
Do you-
Maybe I'm just being subconscious. All love to Joe. We don't mean to do. We're not trying to take your show or anything like that.
Do you ever read the ingredients list on a bag, box, or can of food and wonder just what natural flavors are and why they're needed? Shouldn't food taste good without anything added? Yeah. I
What's
like
this-
things added.
What is this article? This sounds like a blog of someone who doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about.
It does have a Pinterest link.
No, can you go on to the definition of what natural flavors are?
Are natural flavors bad? What is really in natural flavors? The term natural flavor or natural flavoring means the essential oil, oleoresin. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right.
You gotta
Essence-
I think you have to get closer to your mic.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I can hear it. Oleoresin? I don't know what that is. Essence of extractive protein hydrolysate. This is terrible. I don't even know how to say these names.
I don't know. Well,
Distillate or any product of roasting, heating, or enzymolysis,
but
which contains a flavoring constitutes derived from a spice, fruit, or fruit juice, vegetable, or vegetable juice, edible yeast. I literally don't know what that means.
okay, so I don't think that's a good example. Okay, but they have a ton of sugar in them, right? Like every
Most, yeah.
juice has, they say 50% juice. What is the other 50%? Like 30% water and then 20% shit.
It's probably less than
But
water.
anyway, the whole point of this is why I brought it up is just I just feel like people are they're not conscious. I see that every day. I mean,
And you're
even
so
myself.
used to it that you don't, like, you just don't care anymore because it hasn't, it may have affected you, but you don't notice an effect. It's
Okay.
just like,
So let me give you another example of what the other day of what I became aware. I became aware that I sit too much at my office.
you say too much?
I sit too
Sit.
much.
Okay.
I felt like my balls were hurting, like they were swollen. And I had to
Yeah,
just get up, and now I arranged a stand-up desk, so I can kind of just turn,
Uh-huh.
cycle, standing up and sitting down. How many people are getting prostate cancer from sitting down? We sit in the car. We sit at home playing video games. We sit at home at the office. We sit at home at the couch. We sit to eat. People aren't as active anymore. I think it's a big issue. And well, I don't know. I don't want to be preachy. I don't want to be preaching about this. It's just something that I recently just changed. If how I see the world is not how I saw it like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. With the stand-up desk, talk about changing to that. I've always been curious, like, if your legs hurt more. Now you're just standing there. And if people, like, pass out, because, in, like, band, when they march, they don't bend their knees. So if you're at a desk, just standing there working, would you pass out?
No?
No.
I mean, I've been, dude. Okay, so 2015, I was a security guard. Remember when for everyone who doesn't know me, I've had a lot of jobs, odd jobs in my life. But so I had this security job, and we were doing a festival I think it was called the Day of the Dead Festival. It was some sort of like rave up in the Pomona Fairplex. And they gave, for if you're security and you're just starting, well, they have a lot of temps, and they don't want to go through another hiring process to get more people because their overhead is really, really high. It's just all people, right? It's a big overhead. They gave me the option to work 14 hours, so a double, and I took it.
Mhm.
And that was the night it was just out of luck. Everyone took pick a or had already. I got there at the time that everyone had already picked a stage that they wanted to. If they knew the artist, if you're security, you could have gone to go see them.
Okay.
And I just I was there late for some reason, so I didn't get to pick. But they put me on the Deadmau5 stage. That's when I met Joel. I think his name is Joel Zimmerman or something like that.
Zimmerman? No,
Yeah.
that's
Can you
that's the guy
can you
from
look that
Florida.
up? I gotta.
You're
see.
talking about
Joel's,
Deadmau5's name?
Yeah, Joel Zimmerman.
I don't.
I think his name is Joel Zimmerman. Well, I met him.
Oh, it is Joel
boom.
Zimmerman.
So I met him there. It was pretty cool.
Okay.
But that 14 hours, man, it was just water, a couple hamburgers from they sold crappy
You mean cancer
cafeteria.
burgers?
Exactly. I'm telling you, man, just for some reason, and you know what? It tasted good.
Yeah.
Fast
that's it.
food tastes good, and that's fucking dangerous. And people don't talk about this shit.
The one thing that I always find funny about myself is I'll go out and I'll buy dinner. Let's say it's about $8 at a fast food place.
Okay.
I'll be like, man, $8? That's not that much. And then I go to the grocery store and I buy a steak and I take it home and I have rice at home already or potatoes and I spend like $6.50. It's just like, I spent so much money on that one steak. What am I doing? But I got more food out of it. It doesn't make any sense.
I think that the perception there would be that there's extra work involved in doing the steak. So if you go to McDonald's, you literally can drive up to McDonald's and within 3 seconds have a death patty.
Yeah. There's
Right?
one place I've been to where it's still like a fast food concept. There's no drive-through, but it's all they say it's organic. I don't see anything to say it's not. There's a lot of salads and a lot of meats, and you walk up and it's set up like a buffet, but it's all priced out, and you get certain things. So you get 2 sides and your meat. And
I don't know if we're. Sorry, I just don't know if we're able to put the labels out. I forgot about that. But anyway.
it's fine.
Okay, it's free. It's free promotion.
I mean, as long as you're not
It's good
talking
whiskey.
trash.
It's
If
good
you're
whiskey.
talking trash, they might come after you.
No, it's good whiskey.
But like this place, I think it's called Urban Plates. Have you been there?
No.
There's one near here, and it's not that expensive. It's more expensive than most places, but like I got steak and potatoes and mac and cheese, and I want to say it came with like a piece of bread or like a biscuit or something.
Can I stop you there, Greg? Did you listen? This is a good example.
Okay,
Did
go.
you listen to yourself?
Yeah.
You said that you got steak,
Uh-huh.
potatoes,
Uh-huh.
and mac and cheese.
Yeah, I could have gotten vegetables, but I don't eat vegetables that much.
Okay, that's a good example.
Uh-huh.
Like vegetables, you don't do vegetables at all, and I've noticed that since
Sometimes, but not
from when
really.
I've met you back in high school. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You've never liked vegetables.
No.
Why not?
They're just bad. Most of them just taste disgusting.
They taste disgusting.
Taste disgusting.
and you just, even though they taste disgusting, you can't eat them. Like, you just can't force yourself
Oh,
to
no.
eat them. You'll throw up. You got a gag reflex.
I don't know about throw up. There's one thing that gets me to gag and almost throw up, but it's not a vegetable. No. Don't do that.
Oh man, not on the first episode, Greg. Don't do this to me, man. I had more
I
hopes.
could go even further.
I had more
It's
hopes.
sauce. It's ranch. Ranch will make me gag, and I could throw up if I get too much. It's the only
It
thing.
looks like ranch too. Oh man.
Outside of that, it's just they're gross. They're so bad.
So it's just something that you don't. You just don't like it.
Yeah, it tastes bad. Like there's things out there that plenty of people enjoy that you probably just taste bad. That may not be considered healthy.
The only thing that I've tasted in my life that I genuinely dislike, that I hated, was chum.
I don't even know what chum is.
I don't know. It's like some Jamaican. It's like,
Is it Vegemite?
no, man. It's worse. It's like I think it's like the remains of fish that you don't eat when you cook the fish, and they just chum. It's like the chum bucket from SpongeBob. Chum.
That's not even food.
Yeah, no, it is.
You're literally saying the
Jamaican-
leftover pieces of a fish smushed up. So you're talking about ground fish.
Yeah, it's chum, and I think
gross.
the Jamaican people eat that. It's like a little snack.
But
And
I don't know if
I
that's
work
it.
with this guy. You know, he said he was Jamaican. I would say he would be arguably Jamaican. He looked Jamaican, but I think he was. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, we'll move on from that. He offered me some chum. I tried it. It was probably the most disgusting thing I've ever tasted in my life. And I'm Mexican, bro. I ate a lot of shit.
The worst thing that I've probably seen. I tried guinea pig once. Guinea pig.
You ate guinea pig ones?
It was his head too.
The head,
Yeah.
like the skull,
Yeah.
everything.
I didn't like his head. Like
So let me get this straight, bro. You were straight out eating a guinea pig, and you saw its face.
Yeah.
And you
Just
ate it. Oh shit! Now what the fuck do you have to say about that?
It was in Peru. I went to Peru, and we went out. We drove, and we ended in some desert. And I guess it was this farm that's also a restaurant. So they use their actual animals. And so I guess it's normal in Peru to eat guinea pig, or at least in this area.
Mm-hmm.
So there was probably like 20 of us. So they do this plate that's just like samples of everything. So
Right.
big old
It's like a
plates and
sampler?
sides, yeah, like a family feast. And so they bring it out, and you expect your chicken. You got
Did you
some
get beef?
kind of beef. You
You
get,
get beef?
yeah, you get like ribs. But I'm not sure if the ribs were cow, pig.
Cow? Cow pigs? I mean, cow
couldn't-
pigs.
No, because
Cow pigs.
because
Was it man bear pig?
because there was also llama, which they call
You ate
alpaca.
llama?
Yeah, it's perfectly fine. Tastes just like carne asada. The first time I tried it, I thought I was getting carne asada because I bought
Dude,
I bought
can't-
a little tinfoil
Greg,
thing from
hang
a
on,
street
Hang
market.
on, Greg. Before you go on any further, I can't believe I have to do this, but I have to go take a piss.
Oh,
So you're gonna have to
I'll
keep-
fix with the
keep
stream.
it entertaining.
The stream needs a little bit of fixing.
Make
'cause
sure
the
you're
live-
like Gladiator up in this bitch.
the live stream health is at red. So let's try to fix this. Let's see. Please use keyframe frequency. Who can help me out here? Oh gosh. Alright. We've been going for about 44 minutes now. Not too bad. Oh, there is a chat right here. Let's see. Hello. Ooh, excuse me. This mic is picking up everything. So in case you don't know, my name is Greg, and trying to get all the processes going here on the stream. But this is day 1, so it may take a little bit, but we'll get there. Gotta be able to read this. Bad video stream setting. Can I click on it and it'll tell me what to do? Stream health is excellent at 8:20, which was 20 minutes ago. So halfway through the stream, it went bad. Group of picture sizes. Please check the video quality resolution. The current resolution is not optimal. So I gotta change the video quality of the camera.
Sorry,
Welcome
guys,
back.
I'm back. Had to take a quick piss break. Greg, you know what I've realized right now?
What?
I'm hydrated as fuck, bro. I drank like 10 waters today, and just
Hydrate?
yeah.
Are you overhydrated?
No, that's why I had that little bit of whiskey to kind of balance it out. You know, you can't be too hydrated. Got to be a little bit.
You can be too
Effed
hydrated.
up?
Like, I feel like I'm always too hydrated. Or I'm not hydrated enough because I don't drink water. So, on a normal day, I'm overhydrated, which makes me dehydrated. And on a day where I don't drink water, I'm dehydrated because I don't drink water.
So you just
There's-
can never get it right.
No.
There's-
Like right now, I'm super thirsty.
But Greg, we've known this. We've known that you've been super thirsty.
No, like, I'll
in
drink-
fact, we should get into it.
I'll
You were
drink
gonna
a-
tell me a story.
I'll drink like 5 of these 40 ounces of water a day.
Okay, but you were gonna tell me a story, and I don't want to gloss over that.
Oh, well, yesterday I went hiking, and I took 2 of my friend's kids and her dog, and we just went out to this local hiking place. We're out hiking, just walking around. It was actually cool. We started walking, and it started getting overcast out, and all of a sudden we just hear what. I'm really bad with the difference between lightning and thunder. What's the one where you just hear it?
Thunder.
It's thunder?
Yeah.
Okay.
You hear
So,
thunder, you
we're
see
hearing-
lightning. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
So
pretty
we were
sure.
hearing thunder, and we wouldn't see anything, so it was cool. Overcast all around us, but not above us. So we walk. It's like 6:45. The sun's gonna go down at 7, so we turn around to walk back. Right as we turn around, we hear more thunder, and then all of a sudden, it just starts pouring rain. So we start running, just to try to get back quicker. But we were like 20, 30 minutes away from the car.
Yeah.
So we're headed down, and then the rain stops. And I'm walking, and this girl comes out of this little corner where there's like a log that you can just sit. A lot of people like to take pictures there. And that's what she wanted. She said that she saw that my hands were full, but if I could take pictures.
Sorry, was that the log that you could ride on the bicycle with? Is that the one you're
Oh,
talking
no,
about?
no. This is a different one.
Oh, okay.
Or I don't know if you guys may have tried, but no, I think this is a different one.
Okay. All right.
So I
Sorry.
said, sure. We went over there, and I took the pictures. And then I told the 2 kids to go sit on the log so that I can take pictures of them. And one of them was having a hard time sitting on it, so she came over and helped. And the older kid said that, pointing at me, saying, "That's my uncle. He doesn't live with us." She
Nice.
wingman me so hard.
Nice.
And so we took the pictures, and that was it. And the one who said that's my uncle, she kept talking to the girl, and the girl just wanted to keep going to run. And I was like, damn it. I'm too nervous with that stuff.
You're
Can't
too
do it.
nervous.
Always.
Is it because you're too self-aware? You know too much of yourself?
Probably.
Are you?
I know. No, it's probably just that.
What do you find difficult talking to women about? Like, what is it that you find difficult? The
I
action
find-
of talking to them, or the do you get anxiety from what you think you're gonna hear? Like, I'm not interested, or
No, I find a lot of things weird. Like, I don't. Like, when people are like, oh, how's the weather outside? That's weird.
why is that weird?
Because it's obvious. Unless you're not outside and you ask someone, oh, hey, what's the weather outside? Like, do I need a jacket? That's
who
fine.
the
But, like, when
fuck
you're
in
just like,
this-
oh, check out the weather outside.
Right. Who in this day and age says, "What's the weather"?
It happens all the time.
I've never had that happen, ever.
I used to work in a restaurant. That was like the go-to.
Was it like one client that just told
Oh,
you
it's
this?
people all the time. You're telling me you've never heard that?
Greg, were they white?
No, it's everyone.
Mexicans, go in there. Hey, ¿cómo está el clima? No, right?
Well, if they did, I didn't understand them.
No. So
Quality is still bad, guys.
what else? What's going on over here?
It's just saying that the string quality is a little bad. But I'm not sure why. Maybe I have to end it to update the setting. But I didn't think I had to.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a little weird if we're streaming and then viewing at the same time.
Doing what?
We're both streaming and viewing our own, right?
Nah, well, I mean, it could. But at the same time, if you're not seeing it, then you can't see what's going on in the sense of, like,
I mean, that's fine, bro.
if someone's in the chat or
No one's at the chat.
so on and so forth.
Are we? So, did you send me the link?
No, I'm not sure how to find it.
Just give me the link to the video.
But this is not the link to the video. This is the link to the dashboard,
Oh,
which is not the same thing.
okay. So, what else? What else, Greg? What else were you?
Oops.
Did you say that you had taken some notes on? While I find this,
What are you trying to find? I'm trying to find.
I'm
the
gonna
link.
send them the link. I want Robert and Gilbert to get the link.
No, but you're not gonna be able to. I don't think you'll be able to find the link because I just try to find it by typing in the name. So yes, it's not
So
showing it here.
what were you saying about your notes?
Well, like there's things to be aware of, like how you talk. Oh, you did find it?
Yeah, I found it.
How did you find it so easily? What did you type in?
Thought process live.
Did you? What?
Easy, bro.
I didn't type in live.
Bro, are you from the Stone Age, bro?
Maybe I can't search it because I'm on the account.
Greg, you can just open a new tab and search on
I'm-
YouTube.
Look, thought process live.
Thought process live.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my gosh, right there. Right there, dude.
Ridiculous. That's bad. All right.
How do you share? Okay, share
You just send it.
with friends. Share with the mastermind.
Are you talking about Snapchat?
No. Messages.
So you wanted me to talk
Yeah.
about the notes?
Yeah, keep going.
It was about how you're speaking.
Okay.
So specific types of words that you say have more meaning than others. So like if you call someone nice or kind, there's more weight to certain words. So like if you say nice, there's like roots of the word nice come from like negative connotation words like foolish, stupid, clumsy, and ignorant.
Nice comes from foolishness?
Yeah. So, like, you can say...
What? How?
Yeah, like, oh, you're nice. You see what I'm saying? Like, you're nice. Sarcastic.
Wait, but...
Like, you're not just like, oh I guess
what
you
if
could do the same thing. You're very kind.
No, what if you say, you're a nice guy?
But it's just like, you're nice. Cool.
Yeah, so you're nice. You're like, oh, cool, thank you. Thanks for the compliment.
But it's like words that are used too much that lose their meaning.
Nice.
Or like people who call each other...
You don't...
like,
okay, so...
words that we were not allowed to say when we were kids, but now it's like a lot of girls would be like, oh, we're bitches. Like, what?
When we were kids, girls used to say that.
No, they say it now.
Now?
Yeah.
I mean,
I was saying that there's words that you used to not be able to say as kids that people use now just like at school.
But there's also a lot of words we can't use or we'll get pulled from the air.
No, you can say whatever you want. As long as it's not hateful.
So not everything.
Yeah.
So I can't say everything I want, even if it's hateful.
It depends on what, if
But
you're
then
being hateful towards someone.
Yeah, I don't want to get into it because then we're going to get pulled on our first episode. And we don't need that. We don't even have a sponsor yet. Oh, by the way, guys, this podcast is looking for sponsorship. Email us at
thoughtprocesspodcast@gmail.com
for a spot on our podcast show. We will be streaming at least once a week, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Right.
Or if we have more time, more.
I mean, doesn't matter.
Yeah. And maybe you'll learn how to play chess.
But okay, so what else were you what were you saying about your notes? Let's continue on your notes.
Well, just how when you can be aware of what's going to happen when you say certain things, but you don't fully understand what's going to happen after the things are said. So like I heard on the radio about how people say, I'm not trying to be rude, but and the next thing you say is rude, but what?
Okay, well, in that particular scenario, you don't want to say the truth because sometimes the truth hurts. I think that's what that means.
Yeah, you just have to find a way to do it the right way, because some people aren't.
It's
I
like
always say the word wrong.
It's like
susceptible to.
I don't want to be an
criticism.
asshole, but you need to get your shit together. Like that. Like I've gotten that plenty, man. I still get that. I'm probably gonna get that for a long time because I'm still trying to get my shit together.
And then you should get it together.
Well, right, and that's why we're here, because we are gonna go. So, people who don't know us, Greg and I, and most of our friends are now considered to be self-employed, and we've chosen to do and go through the entrepreneurial lifestyle. And in fact, we actually have a ton of books that we've been listening. Well, I have been listening to some books on Audible, but we have some books that we've been reading, and perhaps we can share those books with you guys as we implement them, the knowledge in them, into our life. And so I think that is basically the goal of this podcast, is to, have another means of which people can still have access to these books. Like a lot of people don't read. Like I never read a book in my life until I got to high school. Like I didn't read. Even the books my mom used to buy me, they were Garfield books. So they're all pictures and a talking cat, right? Garfield. I mean, what else did I read? I read some R.L. Stein, Goosebumps. Those were the shit. Especially like the holographic ones. Those were shit. I read Harry Potter, but only the 4th book, The Goblet of Fire. I can't believe it. I'm telling you. I didn't read for shit. I read Dracula.
Okay.
That one I've read in full, but I wouldn't never consider myself a reader until now. Like now, I'm at least reading a book like at least a couple times a month. And that's not a lot of reading, but it's a lot of reading compared to other people.
Huh.
You know? But
well,
anyway, what book was the last one you just read?
Well, growing up, I'm going to go back to that. You said like you didn't read books until high school.
That's the truth.
Those 4 books on the end were the first 4 books I read since 4th grade.
So after 4th grade, you've never read a book until now.
Until these last 2 years, yeah.
What do you think about reading now? How did that change your life? Or at least change the way you see things?
Some of them, because the reason I think I didn't like to read in school is because a lot of it was reading fictional books to figure out the story that they're trying to tell. So, like, I don't know what books I read, like To Kill a Mockingbird.
Okay.
There were parts of that book that I read, like, I may have read chapter 1 and then chapter 6 and chapter 10. But, like, I didn't read the book.
Oh, my gosh. So you literally kind of took everything in by context?
Yeah. I don't do very well with reading the story and finding the moral. I don't need that. I'd rather
realized that too. I also did do that. With Dracula, it was like a scenes to a movie.
Yeah. I can't picture it as I'm reading either. It's not like I'm putting a movie together in my head.
The first book where I was able to do that was actually 12 Rules for Life. Holla to my boy Dr. Peterson, Dr. B. Peterson, or Jordan B. Peterson, rather. That one, I was actually, it kind of makes you reflect on your life and how you're living it now. And it gives you some guidelines. Have you ever heard about that book?
I've heard about it. I haven't read it.
You haven't read it? So, I mean, it's right there. And well, yeah, basically that's part of the mission here is to share with you guys what books we're listening to, reading, so then that you guys can also have another alternative to, if you don't like reading, we can kind of share with you our knowledge, what we're going through and how we applied the book to our life. Some books I'm sure we're going to find that there are a lot of just bullshit, but so far, I read some pretty good books. Let me see. I have over there The 7 Habits of Effective People. I have that one. I have the 12 Rules for Life. I have the Personal MBA, which we just finished recently. Really good book. I recommend that one if you want to be an entrepreneur. Save yourself a little bit of money, and just kind of it'll teach you exactly what you have to know, but it doesn't teach you how to achieve it. And that's something that we're still in the process of figuring out. It's how do we achieve what it's teaching us. A lot of it is like big picture. earlier we were having a conversation outside talking about how. What was it that we talking about? Shit.
I'm not sure exactly.
Where was I
what
going
you-
with this? We were having a conversation over. We're having, now I'm just, I don't know, a brain
Just
fart.
go.
I don't know. But anyway, let's see what else do I have over here. I've got Rich Dad, Poor Dad. What's this one
I
here?
listened to the audio of that one. That's how big the book is?
What? No, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Says
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
That thing's tiny.
We have The Art of War. I highly recommend that one
Let me see it.
by Sun Tzu.
Is this the full book?
I've kind of read, not completely, but I've read Letters from Seneca, Letters from a Stoic. That's a really good book. It teaches you a bit more of self-control. If you're kind of like me, who in the past I've lacked a lot of self-control. I've let a lot of people control me. But that's changed now.
I'll hold these.
What else do I
Just
have?
push it.
I have Think and Grow Rich. I think we started to read that one. I don't think I finished that one. But it's kind of like the Secret. Have you ever seen The Secret on Netflix?
No. I have that on audio that I'm gonna listen to.
Basically, it's a lot of visualization. So you literally think to grow rich.
Okay.
So I have that
I
one.
started doing
I
audio
got this.
books.
I got this for. I think it was from an in-law. I got it on Christmas. One of them is stuff every man should know, and the other is stuff every husband should know.
Every
So,
what?
Husband.
Husband. Hold on. Give me the man one. Give me the man one.
Okay, yeah. Greg is on a quest to be the biggest man he could be.
All right. Oh, this one I actually kind of need to learn. How to throw a punch. It's stupid to go looking for a fight, but when a fight comes looking for you, it's smart to be prepared. And there's 6
Smart.
ways to be prepared. And there's instructions.
On how to throw a punch.
There's a
Nice.
there's a picture there. But I think he's teaching you wrong, because you're not supposed to have your in, right?
Can I see?
Oh no, I guess he has it like this.
Yeah.
I guess that's
As
right.
long as as long as you're not actually gripping your thumb, you're fine.
He's like doing a back flex while he's punching. It's like, is that like how you?
That's
punch?
like the Jet Li punch.
Right where you put your foot
Yeah.
up. I can't
So
do that.
those, you wanna help me?
Oh
put that
yeah, hold that up.
up? So, like we were saying, these are all very interesting books. That, and I think Robert, our other friend, he's doing a book a month. So he should be on his 3rd book right now. But maybe we can have him on and he can kind of share his experience with those books and, you know, kind of the another of the things that the mission for this podcast is to condense the book's knowledge and share it with you. I am not summarize it. It's not summarizing it. It's not paraphrasing it. It's showing you what we've applied to our life and how it's worked. So,
Sounds good.
but anyway, what other things were you going through your notes? You said you jotted a whole lot of stuff down.
Oh, there's something I was gonna ask. Hold.
Is it like a survey?
No, it's just something. Right? You don't have to put me on there. We'll put it this way. Even if you were gonna put me on there, don't put me on there. So my name should not be on there regardless.
Okay.
Put the top 5 most important people to you on there. Like, that you actually know, not like your idols or anything. People you know, top 5 people on there.
Okay, well that's pretty easy.
Who hold on, give me this really quick. I phrased that incorrectly, and I want to phrase it correctly before you do it.
So you want to tell me again?
Okay.
So you're going to repeat the question?
So write down the 5 most important people to you.
Okay.
That you actually know. No idols, like people who you know and talk to.
Okay. Just do that now?
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't have to share it. It's just to show an example of.
Okay, how about I won't put names. I'll put what they are.
That's fine. Because it's very interesting. When I did this earlier, I thought about it and I was like, it kind of seems like a trick question when it comes down to it. And it's kind of the same thing as like we were doing the awareness video earlier. And you're paying attention to them pass to the ball. So your focus is on that and you're not looking at anything else. It's like you don't remember where the people are.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's this dancing bear in the middle.
Yeah.
So it's just like that.
When you say like, okay, for instance, can I just tell you?
Yeah.
Okay. So, did you say names? I don't want to
You
give
could just
names.
say
Okay, so
wife,
I would
friend,
put wife.
cousin.
I would put wife, mom,
Okay.
sister, brother, best friend,
Okay.
and friend.
Okay. So why didn't you put yourself? Are you not important?
What? You
You don't find
top
yourself
5 people.
important?
You said
You're a
top 5
person.
people
You don't find yourself
that
important.
you know.
Yeah, you know yourself.
I don't know myself.
Oh, come on.
That's why we're here.
Okay.
Gotcha.
But see, that's the point. People
Yeah.
don't put that they're important. They don't think about themselves. They don't think that they need to worry what's important out there.
It's like the people's paradigm is what they see, not who they are.
Yeah. Like you will always be with yourself. So you need to find what you're doing important. Because if you don't, then you're finding what other people find important.
Right. So actually, I have kind of been thinking that way lately.
Uh-huh.
I've been really lazy about going to the doctor, man. I've been really shitty about that. And my family, luckily, not a lot of people have a lot of like sickness. Well, I guess we do have a lot of sickness. I guess everyone has sickness. Shit, I don't know. Where was I going with that?
Not sure. You were telling me?
I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to move on because my family does have a lot of sickness.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I wasn't looking to set appointments. I wasn't like taking that as an important task to do. You know, I didn't think it was important to go and get checked out by the doctor and do whatever needs to be done, you know? Because you feel healthy. And it's a big bag of shit. That's a big fat lie. Like, you're right. You have to go and check yourself out.
Mm-hmm.
You know? You are the most important thing. Because without you, there's no... there's no perception. You don't see anybody else. If you lose your sight, you're not gonna see other people, right? If you lose your limbs, like you can't. You're limited to touch, right? So, like, better get your shit together.
Yeah. So you talk about going to the doctors. I was actually today. I was driving and I was like, I need to get car maintenance done. And I think I had enough time to do it. They told me it would have only taken like 20 minutes. And I pull and I turn the corner right by the place. And I look at it, and I was like, I gotta go. So I slowed down, and I was like, nah, and I drove off. It's just like, damn. And then I was thinking, well, I have to drive all the way out here. I might get in a car crash. I may not want to do that maintenance. That's not even a good enough excuse.
That you
Just used
didn't
it.
do the maintenance on the car?
Yeah.
So you rationalized, and you basically rationalized not to do it.
Yeah.
I do that a
But I
lot,
gotta
man.
do it tomorrow.
I do that a lot. And you know what, dude? You know what's funny? You know what I heard the other day? That there's never tomorrow. I don't know where I heard it. Maybe it was a podcast. I don't know. It may have been someone that I've heard. We listen to a lot of podcasts, right? But I heard that there's no tomorrow. When you wake up, it's today. So, you know, we're always thinking, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. And, dude, I do that shit a lot. I'm always thinking of ways of how to get out of it. Like, go the easy route. And I've realized as I'm getting older that it's actually the opposite. You kind of have to go against the grain a little bit. You know, you have to be uncomfortable. Everything we've heard on podcasts, in the books, the struggles, the hardship, you got to go through it in order for you to metamorphosize, I guess, would be the best way to say it, and into a better person. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what some of these books are for too, is to learn ways to metamorphosize.
Right.
Like those Crushing It books. Those things are crazy.
So I don't have any experience with Crushing It. Can you give me, I mean, maybe we can start with this book. Like, what is it that you found helpful in this book for
It's just
yourself?
the way that he was thinking of things that you perceive to be negative, or things that seem too far away to be beneficial. Sure, they don't benefit you now, but later on. I think he's always talking about, he's always
Like
talking about far down the road. Like, would you rather get, like he was actually talking today,
What time is it, Greg? Just quick.
9:18.
Okay, so we have a little bit of time.
He's talking about, would you rather get $3 million for the next 3 years? Like each year you get $3 million, or in 8 years, would you rather get $44 million?
Over time?
No, you just, in 8 years you have $44 million,
Or
you get $3 million
up
each year
front?
for the next 3 years. So you get 12 million in 3 years, or you wait 8 years and you get 44 million.
At the age that I am now, I would probably wait, because I know for a fact that if I didn't wait, I probably would blow it right now. I would go get one of the sickest cars, house, and a better
you'd blow
place
the
to do
44
this.
also.
But are you? In 8 years, I'm
Uh-huh.
going to be, what, 37?
Okay.
35? I'll be 35? 36? I think that I'd be a different person. Maybe by then I've already gotten more into the real estate, and we'll go into that a little bit later. You know?
I don't know. You suffer for 8 years and then you
And
could be
then-
set. Or
That's what I'm saying.
if
I
you're
would
smart
wait.
enough,
I
you
would
could
wait.
take that 3 million, and in the 8 years it took to get 44, you flip it and make more.
But the risk is, if your business fails, you also lose that money. Whereas if you have $44 million in 8 years, and you think of your concept now, and you perfect your concept, cheers to everyone,
Cheers.
I think you can make a better use of that money in 8 years. Or at least that's my opinion. You don't have to take that opinion. You may not like it.
You could lose it, or you could make more.
Yeah. That's the risk. That's the risk that we all have to. I mean, as entrepreneurs, that's a risk is one of the factors that we have to worry about when we make investments or we get into business. It's that risk factor. You got to minimize the risk and maximize your profit. It's basically how we should be looking at things, and that's basically what I've realized. Just talking about that.
Uh-huh.
That is the awareness I was talking about. Being aware of that.
And the only way you can be aware of things is to learn things.
Yeah, it's the hard way. You have to get on your email. Like if you're someone who doesn't like mobile phones or computers or technology, this is where the future's headed. Right?
Yeah.
You have to learn it.
It was like today. Well, I was showing my mom something on my phone, and she wanted to read this article. I was like, I want my phone so I can go.
Right?
You can use your phone. It does the same thing. She goes, no, it doesn't. What do you mean? All phones do the same thing.
Well,
she just didn't know how to
wait.
do it because she's never tried to learn the phone.
Some of them, no. Like the Motorola?
Are we talking about like flip phones? Like,
yeah.
Like the phones that the majority of people out there don't have. And if they do not have it, then it's because they don't have the functionality.
You know that recently I was thinking about going to flip phone? I don't know. I feel like we are spending a lot of time on the phone. Dude, okay, so I have this thing, right? Where if I wake up in the morning and if for some reason, like my brain is thinking about like, oh, I wonder what social media is on today, as opposed to reading or watching the news. I mean, even watching the news right now, I don't think as Americans we can do that. I think it's too toxic.
Okay.
But, you know, I'll get this thought, just go on social media. For some reason, I don't know why I get the thought, I just get this thought. You open Instagram, next thing you know, it's been 30 minutes that you've been sitting on the toilet. And where the hell, how? How am I losing that much time?
Yeah.
What the fuck,
Sometimes
right?
it's a lot of useless stuff. But like, when I go home, I sit there and watch YouTube videos, but it's not like watching someone playing with toys or playing a video game or things like that.
Do you watch conspiracy theories?
No.
I waste a lot of time watching that.
I'll watch some like political things or like the awareness test I was looking at yesterday.
What was the last thing you watched, or that you used your
like free time outside of looking at like the awareness stuff?
yeah?
Probably the mountain bike thing.
What mountain bike?
The guy that we were talking to, his son who did the YouTube videos, the mountain biking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Outside of that, it's watching more or less things that I could learn rather than entertainment. It may also be entertainment at the same time. So it's not me. It's not consuming pointless stuff like watching someone riding a mountain bike where it's not teaching you how to ride faster or do a trick. It's just watching someone ride. I don't do something like that.
So you mean
So
like you go on there and you watch more how do you do this videos?
More
How-to videos?
knowledge type videos than entertainment type videos.
I mean, for me, and it's the thing. It's I watch a lot of podcasts. I think I do, and I think a lot of people are, and I think it's good because it gets you thinking.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, but and now even starting our own podcast, I kind of feel like I don't know. I don't know how to feel. I feel like I don't know. We're kind of doing it to other people, and that's weird to
Yeah.
think about. But maybe some I don't know. But that's why we got to put a mission behind it, right? Um, but it's I find myself entertained on YouTube watching podcasts, and then sometimes I go into the comments and you look at those comments, and you're like, holy shit! Like people are just saying shit. They're just saying the shit.
Yeah, that's
They're
not
just
everything.
throwing the shit, and they're just bathing with it in the comments.
Yeah, because you can do anything. It's easy to make fun of someone. It's very easy. You can do it right now.
Do
And
it. It's
I
like
mean,
hashtag roast me.
if you're bored and you say you're bored, is it bad to say that you're bored?
Okay, who is saying it's bad?
I don't know. Like, so someone's watching this right now and they type, "This is boring."
Well, that's just their opinion.
Okay,
But somebody
I-
might have learned something.
but they're
today.
bored.
Yeah, but then go.
But we'll see it as
go-
negative.
Well, we don't have to. That's why we're not gonna go on to the chats and be looking at everyone's comments. Although we're happy to take feedback.
I mean, like, if someone said that in the comments that I looked like a weasel, that would be very, like, we would read it and be like, "Oh man, I look like a weasel."
I hope that it doesn't turn into that. I hope that the podcast is about what is that new term? Good energy or whatever.
Oh no, no, no!
That's
no.
not it.
Don't say it. You're talking about good vibes.
Oh yeah, good vibes.
You gotta have the vibes.
I don't know.
I don't like talking
I
about
just feel
vibes.
like we have. I feel like people should be talking about their experiences. I think it's a really cool thing to do because you see it in a lot of. You see some of the same knowledge being applied in different ways.
Yeah.
You know, where one thing doesn't work for you, but it may work for me, and vice versa. Something may work for me or may not work for me and may work for you. And in fact, that's another thing that we wanted to cover on this podcast today regarding to awareness is recently I get some emails from I'm subscribed to a coach. I'm not sure. Are you able to say their name? Yeah, right? Their
Sure.
name is John Romanello, but I receive like his newsletters or emails and I was reading this one and it kind of hit home because on Sunday we decided that we had changed the way our perception and the way we saw things, and we decided that today's topic would be awareness. And for some reason, this guy sent in an email talking about awareness this week. It's funny, and I don't know if it's part of the law of attraction or if just sheer coincidence. Like, I don't know what it was. But anyway, like, he talks about how people are not aware of what type of paradigm they live in terms of getting things done. So there's two people, according to him, this is how he sees it. There's two types of people. The first person is a person who thinks from top down. And the second person is a person who thinks from bottom up, or that they do bottom up. And the top down, the first person would be like, that person usually likes to chunk like stuff together to do on their to-do list.
Mm-hmm.
And they usually tackle the big stuff first, and then they worry about the little stuff later. And then there's the the bottom to up person who they tend to do all the little things first because they can get some traction and move on from there. You know, go on to the bigger stuff later because they're already on this, you would say, big dig energy, tackling their problems, right? And it made me realize that maybe I am. So one of the issues about self-improvement books is that they always teach you to work from the top down. Like get the biggest stuff out of the way. Worry about the little stuff later. Don't worry about the little stuff right now. It's not important, right? But a lot of people, like I said, and like John Romaniello says on his article, there's that type of person who has to work from the bottom up. So they have to get some sort of traction. And I think that that's the type of person that I am. It's like, you know, like for some reason I need to get all the little stuff first because I'll forget about it. I think that's the reason why. But I was never aware of that. And I was always trying to tackle the big stuff first. And it would use a lot of my energy and basically will deplete my willpower to do it. And now, like just a couple days, just being aware of that fact that I'm like, oh, maybe I should worry about the little stuff because then I'm going to forget, you know? And it's those little details that I don't see right away. Like the real business people, the way they do business is by detail. The more detailed you are, the more likely you're going to make money. Or bigger money, right? Because you're looking at your transactions, how are you spending your money? You're looking at the details in your reports, right? And there's some people who are just like mom and pop shop who are just paying the bills and trying to stay afloat, who are not even doing their monthly reports. They're not doing much, and they're just cutting checks left and right.
Know all about that.
And I do too. You know, I was trying to start a handyman business, and I had no idea what the fuck I was walking into. And here you have me now. I've recently made a big change in my life due to all that. Like now I have to see the world as an entrepreneur, as how do I minimize risk and how do I maximize profit? That's the way I'm looking at things now. And it's crazy because now you have to look at the money that you're spending. You have to look at your driving. How are you spending your time? You have to look at how you're spending your time. And I have my calendar right over there, and it tells you it's all over the place. Uh-huh. And I'm just becoming aware of it now. So hopefully, a year from now, we're in a better place and we've already mastered that. Well, I don't want to say master it because I don't think there's masters. I think that there's just students, and there's some people who've been doing it longer, and then there's some people who have, just starting out.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on to the next point, Greg. That was a pretty
You want a new point?
Yeah.
Learn how to play chess. You gotta think. Everyone says, think 3 moves ahead, right? So, if it's my move, I gotta think about what move you're doing, then what move I do, then what move you do.
To set up a
trap.
trap.
Then it comes back to me. That's the 4th move. So I got 4 moves ahead. Not 3. So it's the same.
I honestly do not know how to play chess. I'm embarrassed to say that. I don't know how to play chess. Hopefully, I don't know. Maybe well now that we have this kind of the space, we can do it.
Have you ever used the saying, think 3 moves ahead?
No.
Or you have to think like chess?
No, but I
Never said
did hear and listen to Littlefinger from Game of Thrones, and there's a cool thing that he lives by, which is something within the lines of, everyone is your enemy, and everyone is your friend. Everything is everything is happening at the same time. So there's so many outcomes that if you think of them, if you just start pondering about what kind of outcomes you may have of, after preceding your decision, nothing will surprise you, and then nothing will essentially hurt you. You'll be prepared for it. You'll be better prepared as opposed to if you didn't know it was coming, right? Uh-huh. And actually, in fact, I think they got it from the 48 Laws of Power. I think I also read it on there, which I don't have the book, but we listened to the book for the mastermind, and I only printed out the actual laws, so I mean, we can take a look if you want.
The paper right there?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, this one. I think it says in here.
That's just the laws?
Yeah. There's a law.
All those pages?
Yeah, everything is a law. Let's see. Well, I don't know. I think it's too much to go through, but anyway, it was somewhere in the lines of if you look ahead into any possible outcome and you ponder and you think of any type of outcome that may happen from where you're headed, you wouldn't be surprised. You'd be better prepared, in which case you would perform better, I think is what it's trying to tell you.
Okay.
But
hiccups.
Sorry?
I was hiccupy.
Oh.
I wasn't sure if it was going to.
But anyway, how long have we done?
An hour and 37 minutes.
I think maybe it's time. I think maybe we can end this podcast on that right there, and we hope to come back next week with more content, perhaps more people. I feel like we have a cool group. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. We all have our own demons we're battling, and we have a lot of. I think we have a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we'll
share
have
with
more
you guys.
to come, and we'll get the stream working better. And we're just learning.
Off.
It's episode 1, so we just gotta keep learning. Signing off.
See you.
Cheers,
Nara.
everyone.
See you, Nara.